each and every one of us have responsibility to ensure that the society we want, we created it. Nothing just happens. There was this man called Hobbes.
Hobbes, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Who was talking about war of all against all. War of all against all.
Yes.
When you move a society to the point where each and every one of us is against each other, I will fight you, you will fight me, there will be anarchy. Because I cannot submit my sovereignty to you, because I cannot trust you. And this is what we must avoid. So I now say it should be war of all for all. Each and every one of us should gather together, ensure that what we do not want, we do not watch. If this is not the Nigeria we want, it's our responsibility to create the Nigeria we want. Nobody will create it for us. So each and every one of us should get involved and know that it is war of all for all. It is my battle. It is your battle. You cannot fold your arms and expect anything to happen. Nothing just happens. So each person, man, woman, boy, girl, right, should make up his mind. If it's going to happen, it's up to me.
Nigerians must take responsibility.
You must have to take responsibility. You can't abdicate your responsibility.
So in this instance, Mr. Laodu, what is the responsibility of the present core of Nigerians towards building a new Nigeria? What are the responsibilities?
The responsibility of all of us, like Dickens said, is, Yoruba will say, Ojo ta bari bini bin wole. If you all agree that the situation is bad, then you just don't sit in the corner of your house and start criticizing. Government is bad, this is bad, that is bad. What can we do? I think that's essentially what brings up this program. If you know the system is bad, then what do we do? Nothing just happened. Nigerians is not being governed by people from the moon. The electoral process is not just from the blues. The elected ones that all of us are criticizing, they are our own making. We voted them in, maybe in quote, but they are there on our behalf. So it is the responsibility of all of us at the beer parlor, even at the town's meeting, family meeting. If you say something is bad, then I will ask you, what do you think we can do? You just don't criticize. Enough of bad-mouthing the country. If we know the system is bad, let us look for solutions. What do we do? If our cries are loud enough, I know people that are at the end of affairs, they are bound to do something. And they must do something.
Now, Dickens, the impression that you cannot effect a change until you hold a political office in Nigeria, how do you defeat that?
Well, it's society creates itself. You create the society you want to live in. You've been told to look up to some set of people, and you believed it. And that's why each time anything is wrong, many of us will identify there is something wrong. Most of us can even point at what is wrong. But we've never really owned that challenge. To say this thing that is wrong is my responsibility. The leaders you are talking about are from the society. It's because either they came up by circumstances, either they came up by reason of their birth, or whatever. But they are not better than you. I dare say Awolowo is not better than you. He committed himself to solving the problem, and that's why he became Awolowo that all of us are shouting. If you commit yourself to say, this problem, I cannot be alive and watch this happening. If you are to live 100 years on earth, that essentially is talking about 35,000 or 36,000 or 37,000 days. Each day counts. We've wasted quite a lot of our days. Unfortunately, there was no second chance, no second half in life. That maybe if this half is gone, I will go back and I will prepare. No, once this is gone, it's gone. If you allow yourself to be cheated out of opportunities deliberately, people are creating problems for you, and all you are doing is one machine, they will do it. Then there is something wrong with all of us. I challenge you to say, if you receive a call now that something is happening to your wife or to your children at home, I'm not sure if you won't want to rush out of here. So how come the destiny of your children are being destroyed, and you are saying you are still looking up to somebody? Why, if they call you now that there is something going on, somebody is beating your wife or somebody is beating your children, or there is fire in your home, why don't you say, you see, they will do it? Why do you want to act?
But so far we have not taken ownership of this project. How can all Nigerians take ownership so that this new Nigeria can come up as it has been envisaged? Or are we still on this road to nowhere?
Yeah, until each and every one of us accept the responsibility that I am a leader, you are a leader. And what does that mean? I am going somewhere. My destiny is not tied to you.
But you need followers.
Who is a follower? When the people you are ahead of are following you blindly, they are not followers, they are fools. If I accept you as my leader, it means I've accepted that I'm going somewhere and you are going in that direction and you are better in driving the vehicle. That's why I accept you to lead me. It's not because I don't know where I'm going. In your family, there is somebody you look up to. In your community, in churches, have you ever sat down to say, what is the problem that is not making Nigeria work? All of us must have to accept that responsibility, that if it's going to be good, it's up to me.
Amidst this impression that Nigeria belongs, to a group of people, Nigerians are settling for that now. So they will tell you, if it belongs to them, let them fix it.
Belongs to who? It's not like I'm saying that already that mindset is the problem. Okay, let's go back to USA. 1775, 1776. The Britons came, colonized them, and they discovered that a good percentage of their effort is being frittered away. I am the one to go to the farm, then sugarcane and all those things was the issue. I'm the one to do all this, but we cannot use it. We have to ship it to England, and these guys are dying in poverty. Okay, sometimes they came up and said, thus far, no further. And it became a war of all for or against all. So anything Britain, they rose up against this. And that's what I'm saying. That's the theory of ops. Okay, and that's what I'm saying, that must we watch when you push somebody to a particular level, he will react. Must we wait until somebody now react? We have a responsibility to educate our people. We have a responsibility to let our people know that their destiny is actually placed in their hand.
Mr. Bogoloku, have we now found that common thing that unites us together that can say, okay, all of us, this is the way we are going and this is how we should do it? That thing that we have a common, I won't say hatred, that we all don't like.
Now, I think suffering in various degrees is what can unite people now. You know, the rich also cry. Now that electricity is not going well, diesel is expensive, even the rich are feeling it. And we all know that Nigeria is blessed. We have these resources, both material, human, and mineral, or whatever. We are suffering in the midst of plenty. Just like they will say, water everywhere and none to drink. So now people are beginning to get curious. What's really happening? All of us, we are not happy about what is happening, except some few who have the resources, the control of the resources. So we now believe Nigeria could be better. We've had it so good in the past. What is happening now? People are beginning to ask questions. So this is what is uniting us now. That all of us want a better Nigeria. But how to get it is what is causing the problem. So now we can sit in groups and discuss. Some people will say to your tent, to Israel. Some people say it is because we have bad leadership. At least people are talking now. People have now realized that there is a problem. And the way we are going, we may not likely solve the problem, and it may cause problem at the end of the day that we may not be able to handle, that the whole West Africa may not be able to handle. So now, people they have one question or the other agitating their minds, and we are all looking for a solution. So it is the solution, that the real solution, because each and every one of us, we have different solutions. Now you have your own solution, I have mine. Now people are discussing. We have something that is uniting us now, and those who are in control, those who feel they are in control, they better watch out now, because like we always say on this program, when the rich are hungry and angry and they cannot sleep, the rich will better not sleep soundly. When the poor are hungry and they are hungry, angry, and they cannot sleep, the rich will better not sleep.
But when you look at it culturally, it appears Nigerians, especially in the southwest region of the country, they are not used to this attitude of everybody speaking at the same time. This man said that, okay, let some person speak for you, especially the elderly, the experienced. Let them lead, let them be your mouthpiece and all that. How do we jettison that? It appears that is what has been happening.
That's not in our culture, especially in Yoruba land. In Yoruba land, people will say, Yoruba man will not say somebody should lead when there is a problem. Definitely, we give respect to our elders. But then, when it comes, you will be surprised even in our political environment. In any political meeting, even now, everybody is free to talk, even when the governor is around. It's only when they are in government something. When there is a problem, hunger knows no elder or the other. People Yoruba will say, Eniki Atana. Káwọn ká lè jò ríran, ṣé àwọn ọmọdé fẹ́ sùn lókun ni, òkúkú ẹni kan fún ọmọdé ló ń jẹ, ṣé àwọn àgbà yẹn ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹun. So all of us, we are feeling the pinch of this problem, and the youth is rather unfortunate that the means of gathering information about the block view of sections of our society has been destroyed by the military. The student union, they don't have a voice. The labor union, they are divided, but then people are still talking. It is only for those who are concerned, who are knowledgeable, to try and gather all these things. It is when you see the problem in a relay race is if somebody is holding the baton and somebody is to take the baton from him, is not coming up. He will have to stay there. Maybe that one has fallen off somewhere, he's just crawling, he will have to stay there with the button. Some of these elderly people, they are tired. They are waiting for people to come and get the button, but people are refusing.
We are getting to the crux of this whole thing. Dike, I saw you nodded, not in affirmation the other time, but some persons will tell you that problem crept into the Southwest, for instance, when people started challenging Awolowo, for instance. His leadership was being questioned. He was known to be the figure, representing the Southwest. But when other people started coming up with their own ideas, that appears to have taken a toll on our belief system and the way we think and reason. How do we detach our mentality?
One, I think we need to establish one fact, that traditionally, Yorubas are not known to be docile. Yeah, we use religion to cow our people, right? But traditionally, Yorubas are not docile. The Awolowo you are talking about, how old was Awolowo when he was mobilizing produce traders?
It was in his 30s.
The one strength of Awolowo was because he was secretary of Egbe Omoduduwa, and he was mobilizing the farmers to produce something. At what age? How old was Gowon? Let's imagine that he came up through the barrels of gun. How old was Zeke?
He was the oldest of them, 39.
Right? Everything you are talking about Zeke, between age 35 and 39.
Mm-hmm.
So the 35 and 30, and what was happening? The Nigerian Youth Movement, what was it? It's a group of students,
Yes.
essentially. It's a group of students. And I don't know when students were students, even in Nigeria. Yeah. The days of NAMS. Right? I mean, if the youth, we agree that this country belongs to me and belongs to you, and just gather themselves together and say, look, just like I want to gather the farmers, okay, like Zeke was able to use his newspapers,
The West African pilot.
right, to organize the elite. The question is, what are we doing? Just debating? And I used to say, maybe jokingly, Awolowo knew where he was going. He formed action group, not debating group.
In all of this, there will still be need for a figure that people can, that they will look up to.
That will come, naturally. That will come.
Not through election.
Not
Not necessarily. You see, for now, what we need to do in your own street, look for like-minded people. Gather together. In my own street, I look for like-minded people. Gather together. By the time I know what you are doing, and you know what I am doing, at one point, there will be a network for me to say, oh, in your street, this is what you are thinking. In my own street, this is what we are thinking. I give you an assurance. If you are able to mobilize properly, there is nothing like they. They are put in charge. They are managers, not owners of Nigeria. And once they see the people rise, none of them, nobody will dare challenge the masses. Okay? So the idea here is this. The first thing we need to do is to accept responsibility that if it's going to be better, it's up to me. Okay? And like I said, you don't watch what you don't want.
Does age count in all of these?
No. Just like my partner here said, ọmọdé gbọ́n, àgbà gbọ́n. There is ọ̀rọ̀ ọmọdé ò tó pẹpẹ. Tàgbà náà wọ́n kiri gbé. There is a role for each and every one of us. The leader can tell you the story of how it happened. And if you know history, it's for me to avoid the pitfall that my past people fell into. I want to look at it and say, no, I don't do it this way. So the first thing we need to do today is it true that you don't like what is happening? If you answer yes, then mobilize your people.
In essence, we are saying that the message that will go out will be couched around leadership failure.
Leadership failure, one. The leadership of what? We need to have a country. There is no country today. I think it was Aminu Kano, 1978 or 79. Aminu Kano was asked to describe Nigeria. And they said, Nigeria is like a well-stocked supermarket, but with no attendant. So everybody just go there, pick whatever you fancy, and get out. Nobody will challenge you. Because nobody owns that supermarket. So the question today that we need to answer is this. Are you ready to own this supermarket? So that nobody just go there and loot. We need to mobilize the youth, the women, the traders, the Alakoways. Right? We need to get them together to ask this simple question. Are you satisfied with what you are getting? If no, then let's come together. What do we do?
So, Mr. Bognoku, still talking about this, there is coming a time when we would arrive at this point that it will be, let my people go.
Okay.
There was a Moses who went to Pharaoh and said, let my people go. Okay. God told him, let my people go. There's still this need for a figure, as it were, who will come with a message. Number one, what is the message? We said hunger is a unifying factor, suffering is a unifying factor. Then, who will now take up the message and say, let my people go?
Well, I pray fervently that it will not come to the stage of people agitating, and because when it comes to revolution, some of the time revolution does not solve much problem. It creates a problem of its own. What we are saying in essence is this: we want a better Nigeria.
Yes.
And the moment people are organizing themselves, those who are at the aim of affairs better take care so that it will the way of solving the solution will be regulated. Not when you leave somebody just to lead anyhow. Because some of the time, those leadership of such groups does not come through regular means. A leader must emerge. Before Moses could become the leader of Israel, he was in the palace. But when he realized he did not belong to this place, and he saw himself as a Jew rather than an Egyptian, and he saw an Egyptian and an Israeli man fighting, and he killed the Egyptian. So he had to fly to flee from Egypt. He went through the rudiments, and eventually people saw him as somebody who has
toughened through
the wilderness, and through the backing of God, they saw him as a leader. And don't forget, the Israelites were not given freedom on the platter of gold. A lot of things happened. The leadership presently in Nigeria, it's better for them not to allow situation to degenerate to destruction and disruption of the system before they act. What we are saying is, all this agitation, coming together of people, it's not as if the people want to liberate themselves. We want to sit down and Nigeria came into being through amalgamation.
Yes.
And you don't amalgamate people. It's only companies that you amalgamate, and companies that have the same type of trade. Electrical company, 2 or 3 electrical companies coming together to form big one, or 2 chemical, or not electrical, mechanical, fish industry, amalgamating, like the case of Nigeria. We are different set of people. You just put them together. They cannot be one. So what we are saying is, how do we solve this problem? People coming together, forming a leader and all that is not the end of the solution. That is just to awaken the sleeping giants in the leaders to know that there is a problem. Then people will come together. People of various ethnic groups, they will come together. What's your problem? These are let us sit down. And are we ready to stay together? It is not that Nigerians' unity is not negotiable. It will have passed that stage because of the agitation of the people and the discontent in the polity. So what we are saying in essence is, when people come together and they say enough is enough, let us find solution. Those who are at the end of affairs should better listen and call them. Like Pharaoh called the Israelites and said, you want to go and worship? Please go and worship.
Deacon, let's come back to you. There are those that are spreading the message now that things are not bad in Nigeria, as you are being made to see it. Things are not bad as it is being painted. This group of people believe that an amendment to the present structure would suffice. Do you agree with them?
You don't amend what does not exist. I think I've said it here. You can't kill a dead person.
He's already dead.
You can't kill a dead person. What do you want to amend? How did you come by it? These are part of the challenges that we need to say. We do not have a constitution. There is no doubt in my mind about that. But we are being held together. So let us agree that we are together. And now ask ourselves, how do we want to move forward? The only thing you can do is to agree a constitution that will bind you. And you cannot just jump to a constitution. In your street, and you repeat, people must come together. Nothing just happens. It will just happen. You stay in your corner, you are saying governor did this, president did that. To start with, what was the agreement that Ibadan people have with Enugu people? When did they sit down to say Katsina people and Ido people, this is the way they want to live?
Creating a nation devoid of coercion requires careful consideration of various. Creating a nation devoid of coercion.
Of this, in all that we are saying, we have agreed that there is need for a new Nigeria.
Yes.
We have agreed that there is need to sensitize the people.
Oh, yes.
We have agreed that there is a need for mobilization of the people.
Yeah.
And we have agreed that there must be a message couched around the theme of hunger, poverty, deprivation, and stuff like that. After that, what next?
You see, it is, I think it was President Kennedy that said, those who make peace impossible are bound to
make violent change
inevitable. After all said and done, what we need is for us to come together and see how do we move from here. Like Deacon was saying the other time, even in the corners of Oyo State, in the far corners of Oyo State, are the people of Shaki and Kayoma and all the rest, are they ready to be in the same local government? Because the system thus far is the majority lording it over the minority. If they've over the years they've discovered that people that are more than themselves are the one benefiting from the system, they may not want to go with them. We will start from the scratch, even from Oyo State to Yoruba State, before we move to the federal. People in Kwara State, are they Yoruba? Are they Yoruba people, or are they not Central or Yoruba? Do they belong to Yoruba? The people in Kogi, all these things, we, after all said and done, we will have to sit down. There is no way. They say after World War, you still come to Georgia. It is the agreement now that we can say we Nigerians, we the people of Nigeria. It is then that taking from here, from there, compromise here and there, that you form a constitution that all of us will now say, I'm proud of this constitution, I'm proud to be a Nigerian.
Okay, let's go back to the people at home. Wherever you are listening to us from, it's now time for you to make your views known. How can we build a new Nigeria? How can we get a new Nigeria? 0916 104 7698, 0916 104 7698, 0811 052 6487, 0811 052 6487, or 0902 280 9257. 0902 280 9257. Building a new Nigeria.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Deborah from Ibadan.
You're welcome.
We have to sit around the table and discuss about this issue. But one thing I want you to know is that there's a Yoruba say, those who are benefiting from this system, they don't want to come to the round table because they know it will puncture their income. But how do we then draw them into this conversation so that we have a peaceful Nigeria? Because you can imagine what we have three regions. We have three regions. The south, the east, and the north. We are the one begging that we should reconcile and that we should separate. But those who are in the northern part of this nation are not ready to accept this issue. How do we now bring them to the round table conference so that we know where we are heading to? They are the ones benefiting mostly. See what is happening to Ikano. See what happened to Iko. And Wajula has been released.
Okay.
We have different countries. And we bring them to this table.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Deborah, for your time. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, guys.
Thank you.
Anthony.
Mr. Anthony, welcome.
I'm impressed with all the tips in making that stations in order to get a better country. There are systems that require that the country in order to try
Mr. Anthony, could you turn down the volume of that radio? Could you turn down the volume of your radio? All right, go ahead. It's clearer now. Go ahead.
Now, listening to the treatment in that studio, Viking is telling us that until when we all realize that there is a fundamental problem that is not the way to move to run this country. But I say to myself, when we all of us get to understand, I don't think all of us cannot get to understand or realize that thing. So if only few will realize it, if there's only few that will make, God can raise up, that they will try to come out the main crusader who will champion the cause of redefining the way of running this country. I think it will help us. So, but for us to wait, when all of us will realize, I don't think all of us will I don't think so.
Okay.
That work.
Okay.
And one of your respectable that we do not need to be talking or condemning the country, but we have to provide solution. I believe why you great men in that issue because we are trying to provide solution. So we are already on it. Even we talking daily.
Okay, Mr. Anthony.
Oh, Mr. Anthony. Okay.
It's because of also letting us know that the problem and there must be a solution. So,
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Anthony, for your time on the program. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Thank you.
Yes, Samson, I think I know from myself.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you. And I appreciate the guests you have on this video. From your discussion so far, I have deduced that they need more emphasis on followership. Can you hear me?
Yes, clearly we can hear you.
Yeah, they laid more emphasis on followership. And sincerely speaking, that is the way to go. But the issue I'm having with followership is that we are disunited. And without unity, there can't be solution. You see, there has been a time this since the program started, there has been a time you asked, what is the problem with this country? You see people say different things, which talks about the fact that we are so much disunited, we don't know what our problem is. Now, it was on this studio, someone said, rice is 75,000 naira. Another person sent a message and said, no, come, let me show you where they sell it 55,000 naira. Now you come to ask yourself, and 75,000 and 55,000 naira, which should be the price a bag of rice should be sold? See, we are not united, and until we are united, until hunger strikes us the same way, that is when we can have the solution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samson Akita, for your time on the program. Hello, good morning.
good morning, I know morning day.
Thank you.
I am Private Shola Shitu from Ijewibo.
You're welcome.
This morning, as it is my usual, one of the essence of this program is to ask questions and questions should be answered. Now I have two questions. One that is bordering on what we are discussing here this morning. If we truly believe that new Nigeria is possible, what are the weapons we have to use? We have started with one. IBR has championed the intellectual education. I learned that from Nick Papa Awolowo. He said give them his followership intellectual education. Now IBR has championed that. Now for Awolowo to succeed as a leader, he now got a team. After the team, they were determined. After determination, they applied patience. Now the next president of Senegal, who won the election, also followed after Awolowo. They also had intellectual education with him. He was determined to win that seat. He had a team. The team was working while he was in prison. And the rest was story from prison to the throne. That is just it. Now as the four wise men is here, how do we start getting our intellectual education as you are doing? Do you still promise to keep giving us this program and this program must not die? That is one. Then quickly on that again, the determination aspect, the teamwork, and then the patient aspect. How do we apply it? The second one which I said is needed. Is it truly that there is a document that says if we cannot mix ourselves together after 100 years, that we should go our separate ways? Is it a scam or a reality?
Okay, I think there are many questions to be answered today. Samson raised 1, 2. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Show this on the line, sir.
Mr. Fred, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I speak analyst in the house. God bless all of you for coming to get on the law. There is one thing I want to ask. Why did we invade? Why is the Awolowo ideology invaded? Why is it that in the southwest, which was somewhat in virtually all the economic development, why did we get this or abandon those things? Who did abandon them? Why is it that we refuse to follow that pathway? Why is it that we are celebrating ethnicity, corruption, and black today? Where are we? Sir, I want to ask a basic question. What are the two representatives of the security in this country? Why will somebody just come from nowhere? Because he feels he wants a lot of power and he can destabilize other ethnic groups. And it has been on. And this problem has not been solved. You establish a farm, somebody somewhere come and consume it proud of it or do unnecessary or wholesome things on it. And yet, this is one of the things that is causing a lot of food shortage in the country. People die and nobody talks about it.
Okay.
In the Congo area, we are more and more happy. Somebody came all the way from America to establish a farm. Nobody talks about it.
Okay.
That's why we are.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Fred Yakubu. Hello, good morning. You're welcome, sir.
I'm calling for Yana Church.
Welcome.
First of all, I want to appreciate the CEO, the management, and the staff of IBR for giving us insight this time around. I want to believe that in Nigeria is possible. But my question is this: are the current leader, are they ready for the new Nigeria? If they are not ready, what can we, the necessary, do as far as the new Nigeria is concerned? In the new Nigeria is very possible, but our current leaders need to be very serious about how to do it. God bless you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Dickie, you've heard from them. We can pick more, but let's just stop there because of our time. Where we started is still where we are. There is this mindset that will they, when we, people are yet to understand that an action must be taken again.
Let me appreciate everybody that has called. It gladdens my heart that they are attempting to provide solution. But can I give a charge? Instead of reading the book of Lamentation, can each of these people gather just 2-3 people, gather 7-10 people of like mind and hold a meeting before this week runs out? It's a challenge I'm giving to them. Whoever is hearing my voice must have a friend. Whoever is hearing my voice must have been debating this with some people. I'm challenging them to come together. You don't need money to do these things. Right? The Antonio of this world, the Prime Minister of this world, Odusha Aguta, all those people, they didn't drop from heaven. They have some family members. They attended some schools at one point or the other. Can they contact these people, their friends, and say, it's like I want to accept now that my father's house is leaking. And I can see we are almost entering into rainy season. I may not survive watching my father's house destroyed by rain.
So
I must do something.
Yes.
So let everybody that has called and those that are attempting to call accept this challenge. Why must you be putting your problem on any other person? If it's your problem, take the steering.
All right, Mr. Buguloko.
Yeah.
You've also heard from Nigerians. What's your charge to them?
Let us disabuse our mind from this thinking that are they going to accept? Who are they? What is their percentage? I'm quite certain, like we said at the beginning of the program, that those of us that are feeling the pinch of the problem, we are more than them. Maybe they don't know. Let us let them know that if, like we said, throughout the federation, we do this rebirth thing, go to the grassroots, let's have the feeling of the people, and people will come out with what they want. If some people say they don't want Nigeria to be free, and those who say Nigeria should be free and we should go this particular way, if we measure the percentage, you know, there was a coup in this country that the coupists were trying to excise some people outside of Nigeria. Yes, now, if some people think at their own corner and they say they are not going to agree, they are not going to let off the tether from the goat, then if we are more than them, then we have to let them know that you are not more than us.
Okay, quickly before we go, Private has been asking this question. Vicky, are you aware of any of such documents that after 100 years of existence, if nothing works, you can go away?
All these are just begging the question, whether there is a document or not. Somebody will have to actualize it. Somebody will have to action it. Right? And I'm not even interested in such documents. That's the truth. I'm interested in my own future. I'm interested in the future of my children.
Okay.
Let all of them gather by this time next week. I want to know the number of people that attend their meeting between now and next week.
All right.
Well, I know there's been quite a time on the program this morning, and from our own end here, we can just appeal. There's something in education management that they call EOTO. Each one teach
other.
So this time we are saying each one tell one. So that spread the message that a new Nigeria is possible. But that new Nigeria must begin with you. It begins with me. If we gather together and do this and do that and preach the message of a new Nigeria, certainly we'll get to a new Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm going to end this way. There was scarcity in Samaria. Some lepers were instrumental, for the narrative to change. They asked themselves some question. Shall we sit here and die? I am Anulu Akomoride. See you next week on the same program.
My name is Adefemi Makpaderu. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. God bless you. Have a fine day.